Hey everybody, my name is Kimber from Kimber's Cozy Creations. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It is, I should have looked this up, I don't even know. Monday, August 8th. We're almost done with summer already, that's insane. But this is week 9 and 10 of summer sock camp. And there's only 3 more weeks left, which absolutely is insane to me. Crazy. So last week I was in Oklahoma. Well, we drove down to Oklahoma and then drove back, visiting family. So I had quite a bit of knitting time in the car on the way down there, and then down there I had quite a bit of knitting time. So I actually got 4 pairs of socks done this week, and I got my nails done. Like, of course now it's not gonna want to focus. Was the first time I've ever gotten my nails professionally done, so that was fun. Anyways, 2 pairs of socks from start to finish were done, and then I finished up 2 of my other pairs. So this first pair I knit on the way down. Like, I cast on, I think we left on a Saturday, so I cast on Saturday morning, finished 1 pair of socks, or one sock of the pair Saturday, and finished the other one Sunday. And it is these ones. I have both of them. Let's see if it'll, well, one focus, because it's neon goodness, so it's just gonna be crazy blowout type of thing. So I just did a toe up, so it was a yarn over toe increases, and then it's a self striping. So what I did, you can kind of see it, that one you can see really well, at the, like, the round that changes colors. I did a knit one, slip one for that round until I got back to where I started, and then just kept knitting, which was super fun because it just adds a fun little detail to it without being like super patterny. And then I did a shadow wrap heel, and then pretty long cuff, and then did, I think, like 3 rounds of the contrast and bound off with the contrasting color. But this yarn is from Malia Made It, and it is her Glow On colorway, and the mini was the one that came with the self-striping sock set. But super pleased with these. I will probably block these just so that the slipped ones kind of lay a little bit better. They're not bad, but they could do with a little bit of relaxing. Yeah, so I knit this pair in 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, which was absolutely insane to me. Crazy. Yeah, I really enjoyed these ones. Yeah, Malia Made It. I am going to, because I shared this on Instagram. See, I even did it at the toe. See if it'll focus on the toe there. I did like the slip one, knit one, slip one on the toe too. But as I was knitting, come back to me. As I was knitting these on Instagram, I had a bunch of people ask me what pattern it was, and I made it up. Like, I've seen other knitters do the slip one, or knit one, slip one. But other than that, I pretty much made it up. But I'm thinking I will write it up, and then it'll be kind of like more of a free recipe than a pattern. Just because every, like, self-striping colorway, the color widths are different, I don't know. So it's definitely more, I feel it's more of a recipe guideline than an actual pattern. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll type it up, and then it'll just be like a free pattern recipe type of thing. Because I think it's super simple, but thankfully I've come such a long way in my knitting journey abilities that I can kind of look at something and pretty much figure it out. And I know not everybody can do that, and it's something that I'm trying not to like take for granted, I guess. Anyways, long story short, planning on writing it up, typing it up, and it'll be a free pattern. Do you want to come say hello, Bjorn? They can't see you from there. Yeah, they can't see you from there. Yeah, go lay down. He like wants to be involved, but there's not enough room over here for him, so he's kind of sad. Okay, so that was pair number 1. Pair number 2 was for my aunt's birthday. And so what I had done is I brought a bunch of yarn for her to pick from because I didn't know what colorway she was going to want. She ended up picking the Lagoon. I will put a picture here because I knit them while we were there. My aunt is who we were staying with. So I'll put a picture here of what they look like. It was just my Lagoon colorway. I did the contrast toe. It was just the base 64 stitches, except she wears a size 9 and I wear a 12, so they were super short. Like the foot length was super short compared to what I'm used to. So that was actually kind of nice because it knit up pretty quick. So that was pair number 2. I finished those. And then pair number 3, I will try to get on the blockers here. I need to have Dad make me some more sock blockers. And I need to weave in all my ends. But we're not going to talk about that because that's for another day and another time. Yeah, so pair number 3 that I finished, it was in last video. It was a whip in the last video. Now it's a completed pair. And this one will also be getting written up. The pattern will be getting written up. So this set is my DK ones. And so I'll write it up for both DK and fingering. But it is my DK, this is Sock Obsession yarns. Scattered Indigo is the colorway. There you go. Oh, maybe. Pretty sure that's focusing. So it's I'll spin it in a second. But, so it's both of them. So I was all the way back here. So these did 2 at a time. But I was back here last time I recorded. So I knit the rest of the foot heel and then the cuff as their shorties. So this is Scattered Indigo by Sock Obsession Yarns. It is her DK base. I will spin the sock so we can see. There we go. So I had this kind of seed stitch column. So this is the top of the sock. This is the seed stitch column. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. This one I also put on my Instagram stories and then did a little poll. I was like, oh, do you want me to write this up, or are we good, or whatever? And it was very overwhelmingly write it up. So it's on my list of things to do now. But I'm really pleased with how they turned out. I love this colorway too. But yeah. So that was another pair of socks off the needle. So I finished these on the way back in the car. So we left Friday, we got home late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And now it's Monday, so we've just been home for 24 to 30 hours, whatever. So I'm still super exhausted from traveling, but I got stuff to do, so we can't dilly-dally too much longer. So I finished these Friday in the car, I believe, before we got to camp Friday night, I think. I don't know. They were finished on the way home. Pretty sure it was on Friday. And then the last pair I finished are my Journey socks from Heidi and Lana. I want to say the designer's name is Megan. That sounds right, but doesn't sound right at the same time. But I know the company brand is Heidi and Lana. But I want to say Margaret. Pretty sure it starts with an M. It'll be right here. But so they're the Journey socks, and I used my leftover Mandy's Makings, Picking Wildflowers, Sheriff Hair set, which I did. I knit one pair of socks earlier this summer with it, and then I had enough left over, so I knit up a pair of Journey socks. And I still have some left over, but it'll be just enough for like my scrappy blanket, and then I'm gonna start another scrappy blanket. So this is all I'm gonna get out of the Sheriff Hair for socks at least. And it's these guys. So I went for the, like, oh, goodness gracious. So they're opposites. So like the toes are opposite, bodies are opposite, and then the heels are opposite. So they go together, but they're just opposite, and they're the super no-show. This is where I was. Again, I was doing these 2 at a time. You can see that's where I was last time we recorded. So I pretty much just had, it was joined in the round, so I just had the foot and the toe left. And this is why I don't have nice things. I'm just throwing stuff around. So I finished the foot and the toe, and then Kitchener the toes. So I finished these Saturday night, because it was right when we were getting into the Twin Cities. Yeah, because then it started to get dark. So I finished these before it got too dark, and then I started working on another pair. I got 2 rounds in, and then it was too dark to keep knitting. So I had like 3-ish hours, 3.5 hours on the way home that I didn't knit because it was just too dark, which is fine because my hands probably needed a break. So those are the 4 completed pairs of socks. And then I have 2 whips. So these ones I had last time. I was hoping to get these ones done as well. That didn't happen, but that's okay. This is my, oh my goodness, Inked Sheep Fibers yarn from summer of 2019. It's so pretty. So this is where I was last time we recorded. So I got a good chunk done on it since last time. These ones I have about 15 rounds left, and then it's time for heels, and then probably the short leg cuff, and then pop a color on the cuff, because it has, the heel's going to be this neon that's not wanting to focus because it blows out so much. But anyway, so the heel will be this, and then the pop of color will also be this green. So those are almost done. They will get done before summer sock camp is done. So that, I don't know if they'll be done by next time, but they will be done before summer sock camp is done. And then the other whip I have is a new cast on. Because I know last time, pretty sure it was last time, I talked about the chevron sock pattern that I was going to be working on designing and stuff. And I got the toe started. So I did the toe, and then I think like 2 rounds. There we go. So at least the toe is just super cute. Ended up being kind of like a micro stripey. The back is a little bit more variegated. So the toe is done. I have the chart written, drawn up. So I'm ready to start doing that. I just didn't get around to it. So like actually knitting it while I was there, and in the car it was much easier just to finish the other vanilla socks. So hopefully by next time I have some of that knit up. I do have it charted out, drawn out. So I know what I'm going to be doing for it. I just need to actually knit it. So that's exciting. So yeah, so this week I have 4 finished, 2 whips. So I think that brings my total summer sock camp total up to 8, 9. I want to say 8. I don't remember. 8 or 9, something like that. So feeling pretty good about that. There's 3 weeks left of summer sock camp. Definitely planning on getting the Inkscape Fibre ones done. Then I don't know if I'm going to just focus on finishing that design or if I'll, because I don't know. Definitely the Inkscape Fibres. I have a lot of dyeing to do in the next couple weeks. I don't know how much knitting time I'm actually going to be having. So we'll definitely try to get the Inkscape Fibres finished before the end of summer sock camp, which is August 31st. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, if you're just here, so last time was before we left for Oklahoma. I talked about how I'm gonna vlog it and it'll be great. That did not happen. I have one singular video clip from vlogging, and that was when we left Saturday morning. That's all I did. So if you're here for just summer sock camp stuff, that's the end of that. I'm going to put in the little clip that I have because yay vlog. And then after that we'll come back and go over yarn haul type of stuff for the trip. So if you don't want to stick around for that, well, thank you for watching so far. I said I'll try to get a video next week, if not the week after that. Hoping to at least get one more before the end of summer sock camp, goodness. And then I'll do one like final recap video. That's the plan. So if you're looking out for those, probably the best way to know is subscribe and turn on like the little notification thing, because I don't even know when I'm going to post videos. It's a surprise for me as it is for you guys. So the easiest way to keep up with it and find out is probably to do that. So okay, so if you're here for yarn haul stuff, we will be right back with that. And if you're done with this, thanks for watching. Tune in next time and we'll see you later.
We have time to run to the gas. Oh. See, this is a perfect time to leave.
Wasn't that the best vlog ever? So yeah, that didn't happen. So we left Saturday morning. We went to 3 yarn stores on Saturday. So we ended up going to 10 total. Ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way down, and then while we were there, and then 5 on the way back. So that worked out pretty well. I didn't notice, like, I didn't know it was that evenly split. So we'll start with yarn store number 1, which was the Yarnery. Some of these bags are pretty crinkled. The Yarnery is in the cities, Minnesota. Let me see if it has a, so it is a St. Paul, Minnesota address. Because it's one of those places that, I didn't know if it was like a suburb of St. Paul or Minneapolis, technically. Some people get picky about that. To me, it's all the same. It's just the cities. But it is in St. Paul, Minnesota. So that's cool. That was the first one we went to. We got there like 5 minutes before they opened, I think. So we were the crazy people on the side of the street just waiting for the doors to open, which I think was kind of fun. It was a very nice yarn store. I really liked them. They were very, very nice. I had it, there it is. Forgot about the sticker. So there, that was the first stop of the trip. So I got, of course, a super cute little sticker that I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet, but it was really cute. It has their store name on it. I liked that. And then I got this. Oh, I'll just show you and then I'll kind of talk about it. let's see if, so it is kind of like a very sagey green and this cute purple. So they're both from the Knitting Lizard Fibres, which is local to the cities, to that yarn. So what I tried to do at each yarn shop is find a somewhat local dyer, and I think pretty much all of them except for one had a somewhat local dyer. So that was really cool, because I think it's kind of fun. It's fun for me to find new dyers, because like I'd never heard of the Knitting Lizard until I went there and was like, hey, do you have local dyers? And they said, yes, we do. But anyways, so I got this, and I'm thinking a pair of socks, but then we'll see. Some of the other stuff I picked up would go really well for like a shawl with this. But these are both 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, and then 20 grams. This one is the colorway Seafoam. Let's say it's I don't know, it's blowing out a little bit. That's a little bit better. It is a very light green. It's just really, really pretty. And then this one is Glowing Grape, is the name of the mini colorway. Which is a really fun little purple. So I was thinking together for socks, or use them separately for something else. I don't know. So that was yarn store number 1. So that was in St. Paul, and then the next one was in Ames, Iowa, and it is Knittery Nook. And this one was in Ames, Iowa. This one was a super, super cute like yarn shop. It was adorable. But I got this skein from Coma Chameleon, or is it Comma Chameleon? Probably Comma Chameleon. Work with me, camera. So it's all pretty and speckled. And of course it is not wanting to focus right now, which is awesome. Oh, there we go. So we got some green speckles, and there's some pinkish purplish. There's some orangey yellow. There's the band. Yeah, so there's like purple and pink, and it has like there's some of the, of course now it's not going to want to focus again, but there's like yellow speckles in there too. So it has a little bit of everything. Nausea, I believe is how you would pronounce that. Again, it's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend, but it's there's the colorway name. I want all the information. So it does have like there's also some black specks in there too, like a little bit of black. It has like maybe a little kind of green undertones, and then like all the speckles on top of it. So that might pair well with my other one. And then I picked up this wine tumbler from them. I know everything's shiny and reflective and so bright. There we go. It just has their little logo on it. There's a cup, it's insulated, all that. So I'm excited to use that. So yeah. So that was yarn shop number 2 in Ames, Iowa. And then, yeah, that was all I got from them. And then the third one we went to, try not to make too much noise with all the bags, was a Tangle of yarn, and this was in Des Moines, Iowa, West Des Moines. And it's got the same dyer. There it is. and this is You're Turning Violet, Violet. So it's from Willy Wonka, and it is a bulky base, so it's 100% superwash merino. So I'm thinking a hat, mittens, something like that. I say bulky isn't one of my go-to bases, but then I don't know, it was fun. I have lots of sock yarn. They didn't have any colors on sock yarn that I liked, or that I didn't already kind of have, so I went for bulky, and I really like it, and it kind of ended up matching my nails. So I got this one before I got my nails done, but ended up matching anyways. You will soon figure out a theme for all of these. Went very purpley this time, which is different for me. I usually tend to go for like blues and greens, but I have so much of that already, so we went for purple this time. So that's fun. So that was the last store on Saturday. Sunday, all the stores that we were going to drive by were closed, so there were no yarn stops on Sunday, which was sad, but that's okay. So then while we were there, there were two kind of in Oklahoma City that we drove up to go to while we were staying there. So that's these next two. We would have hit them on the way down, except they were closed. So the first one is, I gotta remember the name of it. I am so bad at that. I was like, I know there's a card in here somewhere. Was it Noble County Yarns? And it was in Midwest City, Oklahoma, which in my mind is Oklahoma City. Like, it's all part of the same thing, even though it technically isn't. So this is their card, maybe. Focus. There we go. So she was super sweet. They had a lot more, let's say the ones that we went to up to this point were all what I think of as like your typical local yarn shop, where it's a lot of like either hand-dyed yarn or like Malabrigo and Cascade and like those types of yarns. This one, she had a lot of more commercially kind of like acrylic cotton options, which was really cool. But I mean, I picked up some stuff, so obviously there was stuff there that I liked too, but I thought it was cool that it was kind of more box, like your box store, but like the smaller box store. I don't know, it's hard to describe. And obviously Mom went to every single one of these shops with me. She just is allergic to wool, which really sucks. Because obviously that's all I use, and so it was harder for her to find. So she found some stuff at this store, which was really nice for her because it was the acrylic cotton leaning type of stuff. So she found, I think she got a skein or something. Then one of the other stores we went to had some like cotton sock yarn and like acrylic sock yarn, so she picked up some of that, which was cool. Anyways, at this one I got these two skeins. I got 3 total at this one. Went a little crazy. I got these two. They're so fun. Take that sticker off. Mountain Colors ink. It says beautiful hand painted yarns out of Montana, and it is it's 100% superwash merino wool. It's a sport weight. Didn't realize that. That's okay though. 325 yards for 100 grams. It's the colorway Rodeo. So that is their. Of course, it's all curled up too. That doesn't help. So I got 2 skeins of this, so I'm thinking this will probably be a shawl. So if you have any good sport weight shawls that are, would be 650 yards, let me know, because I don't know, I'll go find one, but if you have one that you really like, or if you designed one that you really like, let me know. And I will probably knit it up. So that I got those two. They're just really fun, like all sorts of colors. Definitely like fallish. It's showing up a little bit brighter on screen than it is. Like in person it's just like a touch more moody. And it's amazing. And then I picked up, there's a sticker over it. I didn't even think about that before I started recording. Anyways, the Regia. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. But it's this really fun, like, sunset-y, just goodness. It is the 75% wool, 25% polyamide, which is, from my understanding, basically like a nylon type of thing. And let's say pretty much like 95% of the stuff written on here is in German, and I don't know German. So I was just looking for, so, okay, so it's 150 grams, 410 yards. So it's more of a sport weight type of thing, again, which is fine. So I'm probably just gonna do, I was planning vanilla socks for it. So I'll just have to adjust my stitch counts for it, which is fine, because I usually do a 64 stitch sock. So sport weight, I'll probably just switch to like a 58, 60 stitches, something like that. So, but I saw this and loved the color, so I just had to get it, obviously. It's so pretty. And then, okay, so that was that store. So that's what, 4 of them so far. We got this. The last one we went to on our little like day trip up to Oklahoma City was Yarnatopia, which I was very excited to go to. So I got a skein of Moondrake Co., which is in a somewhat local to them. Goodness, does not want to, it is there we go. So again, another purpley blue moment. So this is her, the name of it is Moody. It's a 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, which is a new to me blend. I don't think I've used this before. So yeah, this one's super, super pretty. So I got that. It's probably going to be socks, but again, it kind of matches a lot of the other stuff I ended up getting. So it might be a shawl. I don't know yet. And then I got a pin from them, so I'll probably put this on a project bag of sorts. Is it gonna focus? Maybe. It's trying. What if I take it out of the bag, if it'll focus a little bit better, I hope. No, there we go. So it just has the Yarnatopia on it. Has two clippy clip thing or pins. So that'll probably go on a project bag of sorts. But then I also got a t-shirt from there. And I wasn't gonna get one. So like each t-shirt had like a different saying or whatever on it, and I was like, man, none of them weren't, like, they were all really cute and they were good. None of them were really speaking to me until I saw this one. So I can't see if it's, I'm gonna assume it's focusing. It just says it's not hoarding if it's yarn, which I felt was very, very on point for this whole trip. And it's cute on the little sleeve that has their logo too. So that's on point. And it's a blue that I really like, so I was like, oh, of course I have to have it. So it's definitely not hoarding if it's yarn, if you're a curator of an exquisite fiber collection. We'll go with that. So that was 5 trips, or 5 stores. 5 down, 5 to go. The next ones are all in plastic bags, which I'm going to try very hard to not crinkle too much. But we all know plastic likes to make noises when it really shouldn't. So now this is all from the trip home. Because that was our last one kind of in Oklahoma City. And then on Friday we left my aunt and uncle's house. So these first 3 are from Friday, and then the second 2, yeah. Excuse me, those last 2 are from Saturday. So the first stop we made on Friday was Chick That Knits. Which her shop was exquisite. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. The gal's name is Tammy, and she was an absolute sweetheart to talk to. She so it was more of her own retail store than like a yarn store. So she, like, all the, well, I say 95% of the yarn that was in there is stuff that she dyed. Because she has her own website and stuff, but then she has a brick and mortar store and then a dye space in the back, which is like dream goal for me. There was actually a storefront in town that I absolutely loved. It was like right on the corner of the highway, right next to the pizza place. It was pretty cute. Had, I guess they were like fake brick walls, but it had brick walls and it was super, super cute. But obviously, like, I couldn't afford it. Still can't afford it. I'm definitely not at a point in my business where I need that space yet, so I couldn't justify getting it or like had the means to get it. But if I did, I probably would have had it set up very similar, where in the back or in the basement, because the store that I was looking at had a basement space as well. So in the back / basement would have been like dye studio, and then the front part would have been retail space. So that's how Tammy has her set up, and it was gorgeous. She has, she doesn't like dyeing cotton, so I have yet to try dyeing cotton. So she, like, gets her cotton in, she wholesales that out, I guess, the cotton. And then she has this brilliant, kind of buyback program, I guess you would call it, in her shop, where, so like, we all know that everybody has like a bunch of yarn that who knows if they'll get to it or knit with it or crochet with it, whatever. So she will buy it from you for whatever amount it is, and then she resells it so somebody else can get it if they want it, which is awesome, because then the person that originally had it, it's out of their stash, they get some money for it, so it's not a complete loss of, don't know what this is, go donate it to Walmart or whatever. Like, don't know what I'm going to do with it. Walmart? You don't donate things. Oh my goodness. I'm still tired. Don't know what to do with it. I'm going to go donate it to Goodwill or like Savers or whatever else. Not Walmart. Don't try to give it to them. So she had a whole shelf of like just some brands that I've never heard of or like don't see hardly ever, which was really cool. So I got something off of that shelf, and then I got some of her yarn. Mom did really well there. She got, sorry, my alarm went off. She got, I think like 4 or 5 balls skeins of yarn there, some acrylic sock yarn, and then I think she found some cotton yarn that she liked. So it was just, it was a really good store. I really liked that one. So anyways, with all that chit chat, So first off of that super cool buyback shelf thing, I got a ball of Opal yarn, which I have heard of. I've just never had the opportunity to try it. So I first saw the colors on the shelf and I was like, oh, well, I have to have that because it's blue and purple, and then noticed that it was opal and I was like, well, now I'm definitely gonna get it. So that was a super cute find. Like, I'm glad I found that. So again, it's probably gonna be socks because what else am I gonna do with it? And then from Tammy, I picked, oh, she had a mini wall too. That was gorgeous. I got this skein of, oh, sparkle is kind of showing up. It is a sparkle yarn. It is gorgeous. So that's her logo. And this one is called Bella. It is her deluxe sparkle base. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. So it has like the sparkle to it. It's almost like if it's out of focus, it sparkles better. So you can see the sparkle on there. So it's blue and purple, because that's what this whole trip ended up being. So then I picked out these 2 minis to go with it. As I was saying, there's 2 minis to go with it. And she has her little logo on there. This blue one is called Ariel. And the purple one is Lilac. And the mini sparkle as well. So I was thinking, like, sock set with 2 different colored minis. Which would be super, super cute. So that's what I got from Tammy. The opal, and then this kind of build your own sock set. Oh, try not to crinkle plastic. The next shop we went to on Friday was Sealed with a Kiss. Oh, Tammy store is in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is just like the north side of Oklahoma City. It is out of town, but kind of nearish Oklahoma City north side. And then Sealed with a Kiss is in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Make it quick. They had some pretty cute yarn stuff there. Just none of it was like my style per se. So I didn't pick up any yarn. They did have, it is the softest cotton I've ever felt before. Mom took a picture of it. I don't remember what brand it was off the top of my head. It was a worsted weight. But it was like the softest cotton ever. And I might have to make like a sweater out of it because it was super, super soft. But from there I just picked up some stitch markers. I have Coco Knits. Just their colorful. I think this is their medium stitch markers. It goes up to the 9mm. So they're, oh goodness, hold on, gotta put this. I don't know how we're gonna. So it goes up to a 9mm US 13 needle. So that'll be, yeah, US 13 9mm. So that'll be good for like sweaters and stuff, because it's getting that time of year. There's all sorts of colors. Because I got the Coco Knits. They have a, like a stitch counter, stitch flight, or whatever they want to call it. So it has like little samples of each of their styles of stitch markers. And I love their stitch markers. So I got some more because you can never have too many. So that was Sealed with a Kiss. Again, they had some really good yarns and stuff, just nothing I was kind of looking for, didn't really vibe with it, whatever you want to call it. Nothing struck my fancy, so I didn't, trying to be better about not buying yarn that I don't like, or if I'm not actually going to use it. So there's that. So our last stop of the day on Friday was Yarn Barn of Kansas. I think is what the Yarn Barn of Kansas, I think is what it's called. And that is in Lawrence, Kansas. And This one was recommended to me by Katie Sue of the Scranton Stitcher on Instagram. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Hold on. So much talking. Goodness. And we got there like 5 minutes before they closed. I was trying so hard to not be that person. But they were all super kind, super welcoming. Got in, got our stuff, and we left. So we were out of there by I think like a quarter after. So it wasn't too bad, but I still felt so bad because I was like, we're gonna be those obnoxious people that show up right before you close and look at everything. So from there I picked up quite a bit of stuff. Well, not quite a bit, but yeah, so it's the Yarn Barn of Kansas, I was right. So they have these little rulers instead of business cards, basically. It is not going to want to focus. Maybe, oh, there we go. Yarn Barn of Kansas, yep. So it's just a little 6-inch ruler type of thing. It has their information on there, which I thought was really cute. So that's what they had instead of business cards. That's what those are called. So I picked up from Brediculous is how I want to say it. I don't know if that's right or not. Brediculous, which was again a local to them dyer. Oh goodness. I can't tell if it's focusing. I hope it is. I don't think so. There we go. But it's this super pretty, like pinks, greens, blues, purples. It's called Butterfly Effect, and it is their bulky 3-ply, 100% superwash merino. And I actually ended up getting 2 skeins of it because, again, I was thinking, oh, well, what if I do hats with one and mittens on another, and then it's like a cute little set. So that's what the plan is for those. And then they had the cute little stitch markers there. Has a little sheep on one side, and then the other side has the focus. So Yarn Barn, Kansas is right there. And I think they've been at that location for 50 years, which is insane for one to be open for 50 years. That's crazy. But then like still be in the same location, because usually, or at least from what my experience, like especially like yarn store type of things, they'll be like if they're in business for 50 years, but then they have to switch locations because of leases or because of whatever. So I thought it was really, really cool that they've been in business for that long, but then at that same location for that long. And then I also picked up some roving. Yep, it's 100% merino wool. It's a Malabrigo. Cause I didn't know they did roving until I was there. But it is the Arco Iris colorway. I don't know how to show it without like actually opening it, which I don't want to do right now. But again, it's like blues and greens and purples. There's a little bit of yellow. It is a 4-ounce braid. No, 113 grams. So yeah, about a 4-ounce braid. Because late October, I want to say, I should be getting my electric spinning wheel. Because I have a Turkish drop spindle. I cannot get that figured out. I'll need to try it again, but does not work with me. If you have tips on that, let me know. I've tried watching videos. Like, I understand how it's supposed to work. I just can't get it to like actually spin, but then stay spun. If that makes sense to any of you, if you are also spinners. And if you are, and if you have tips, let me know. So I'm hoping that the electric wheel will help a little bit. So this is so soft. I love it so much. They had a bunch of other like local dyer braids and stuff too, but since I am obviously still very new to spinning / haven't really started yet, I didn't want to spend that much on a braid that I might completely destroy, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping this will help me, because I have one braid already, but I'm hoping this will kind of help me figure it out, get comfortable with spinning, and then I can, once I know how to do it type of thing, then I don't mind spending more money on a braid that's like hand dyed and all that stuff. But for the figuring it out process, we're sticking with the cheaper of nice things, and we're gonna go with that. So that was Yarn Barn of Kansas. And then, so that was the last stop on Friday. And then after that, we went to our campsite, slept terribly. Yeah, and then Friday morning, I woke up, my neck was so bad. Like, I don't know if I slept wrong on it or what, but like, I could barely, like, this was as far as I could go to the side, like, and then like, that was about it. So it was very minimal, like, neck movement abilities, which was not fun. So that was terrible for sleeping Friday night. It was so hot. The whole week we were down in Oklahoma, it was 100+ degrees Fahrenheit, which is not my jam at all. I mean, obviously they had air conditioning and stuff, and it was nice inside, but it was just like that constant, like, just heat. I don't like it. So it was hot when we were trying to sleep in the tent, because obviously there's no AC in the tent. It was not windy, so there was no even breeze like through the tent. It was miserable. And then we were sleeping in the tent. So I got a campsite that was kind of by the bathrooms, just because, like, if you have to get up and go in the middle of the night, it's nice to not have to like trudge across the campsite or campground to get to the bathroom. So I was like, oh, this one's not too bad. Like, it was by the bathroom, but it wasn't like it was on the other side of the road. It was fine. It should have been fine. I'll see if I can insert the picture here. So it was one of those bathroom shower house combos. So like one side was the women's, one side was the men's, but then there was like the toilets and then the shower. So there was 4 doors on the thing. And then it was one of those ones that above every door, they just had to have the brightest light possible. Like, that you don't need that. Like, I get wanting to have a light so people can find their way when it's dark, but you don't need 4 bright lights. You could have gotten away with 1 on each side at like half the brightness. You would have been fine. Like, it was bright enough in the tent. Like, I could have stayed up and knit all night if I wanted to without any additional flashlights or anything. It was ridiculous. We did not like it. So I think the longest stretch that I slept that night was maybe an hour and a half that night. That's all I could sleep. So like, it was super hot. My neck was sore. I had like 3 comfortable sleeping positions. None of them were like my normal, because I'm like a stomach sleeper, so I like sleep on my stomach and like put your head to the side so you can breathe. No, I couldn't do that. That hurt my neck so bad. And then the light on top of it, and then Mom said that there was children screaming all night. I take my hearing aids off when I sleep, so thankfully I didn't have to worry about that. But so we were both pretty miserable Saturday morning when we woke up. But you win some, you lose some, I guess. So we got coffee on the way out of town and went to a yarn store, so that made it better. So we went to 2 yarn stores on Saturday. I wanted to go to more. I had like 8 planned out for the whole day, I think. Sorry. 8 planned out for the whole day. By the time we got up to where they were going to be closed, so we just didn't go. Because why don't they do things for me? And if they were open until like 9 o'clock at night, we would have went to all of them. But just traveling, it doesn't always work out. You win some, you lose some. It's okay. But the first one we stopped at Saturday was Yarn Junction Co. And it is in West Des Moines, Iowa. This was one that I wanted to stop at because one of the other stores was in Des Moines. So I wanted to stop at both of them on the way down, but like by the time we got to that, I think Yarn Junction was closed, or like they both kind of closed at the same time, so you just had to pick one. So on the way down, we stopped at, I don't even remember what it was called, whatever. Go back 5 minutes if you really want to know. But anyway, so we went to Yarn Junction Saturday morning, and I got this beautiful purple moment here. And this is from Stitch Together. Who I'm pretty sure was in the like Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Iowa area. So it's another Iowa dyer, which I think is always super cool. Again, I don't think I've heard of them until I found this, so that's really cool. And it is it'll be 75-25 nylon wool blend, so the usual. And it is, I can never pronounce the name correctly. Indigo Montoya. I always struggle with it. See if it focuses so you can read it. But it's the dye from The Princess Bride, where the "You killed my father, prepare to die," whatever, that one. That guy. Come on, camera. There we go. That guy. His name. That one. And there were a couple other skeins there that I was looking at. One of them was As You Wish, which is also from The Princess Bride. So I got the purple one because, again, it was turning into a purple trip, which is fine by me. Yeah, so there's that one. And then the other one we stopped at Saturday. Sorry about lighter getting old. Is Jan's Yarn Barn. Jan was a firecracker. I mean, she still is, but she was so much fun to sit and talk to for a little bit. And this was in Newton, Iowa. So it's between Des Moines and Iowa City. I think, yeah, pretty much in between, I think. But it's in Newton, Iowa. And I picked up this beauty. And then it's like purple. So it's like half purple, half of this beautiful speckled happiness. It is from Whimsical Wood Yarn Co., which again is like, I've seen some of their stuff, but I would just like see it randomly on Instagram when it would like show up on the like suggested post or whatever like that. But this is called Overwhelming Ass, which I thought was perfect because I'm always overwhelmed, and so why not? And it's beautiful and purple. But again, this is another Iowa local dyer. Super, super soft. But what is it? It's an 80-20 blend, which I have some on the shelf. I just haven't actually knit with it yet. So that's exciting. I'm probably going to turn these into socks unless I find something else I want to do. But yeah, so that was the last yarn shop. So it was 10 yarn shops. More skeins of yarn than I should have probably gotten, but oh well, this is my life and this is where we're at. It was funny, one time, I think at one point in the trip, Mom asked if I was gonna add up how much money I spent on yarn this trip, and I just chuckled and I said, nope, don't need to know. But yeah, so overall it was a really good trip. It was really relaxing. Like, obviously got a bunch of knitting done. Got to see some family that I haven't seen in person. Oh goodness, probably, I'd say like 6-8 years or something. Like, it's been a while since I've seen them. Mom tries to go down every year. Before, when I was working for the school district, I just couldn't get the time off to do it. So now that I work for myself, it's much easier to kind of schedule time off. So it was fun. Got to go down there, see them. I stopped at yarn stores, got a bunch of knitting done, got some pattern writing-ish kind of done. Did a handful of admin type stuff, sent some emails, ordered bare yarn, all that good stuff. So now that we're home, it's just going to be back to the grind of dyeing yarn. This next probably 3-4 weeks is going to be super busy because I have another wholesale order for Kay and then orders to catch up on. I have a couple of collaborations in the works, so I need to get that worked on. So it's going to be busy. So like I said, I'm going to try to do another like summer sock camp video and then one final like wrap up video. And then after summer sock camp, I'm going to keep trying to do these videos, but then it'll be more like everything going on podcasty type of thing and not so summer sock camp specific. So yeah, well, thank you for joining along. If you have any pattern suggestions for any of the yarns, I'm always open to hearing them. Like if you saw a skein and you were like, this would be perfect for this pattern, let me know. I'll check it out. I'll look at them because I always need ideas. Otherwise they'll probably be vanilla socks, which are great, but patterns are more fun sometimes. So I think that's going to be it for today. So I'll see y'all next time.